At first I thought he is just the king, but I got so many chances several times to see him walking by. People started to say, "Long live the king, long live the king, long live," louder and louder and louder, and no one forced him to do that. I couldn't even say that word because I've got tears fully from my eyes. He didn't even speak to me. And you know what happened? I cried even harder. I love the king, I love the monarchy, and I want to protect them. It is not just about the PDRC. It is about uprising for Thai people. They come and fight to protect their king.
For the past decade, the political landscape of Thailand has been darkened by violence and political uncertainty. Historically, Thailand has long been dominated from Bangkok by a royalist elite that allies itself with the most potent symbol of Thai unity, King Bhumibol Adulyadej. He is the longest ruling monarch in the world, and many people worship him as a god. This royalist elite has long assumed unquestioned support and loyalty from the people, but that's changing. A royalist-backed military coup in 2006 that ousted former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has thrown Thailand's old establishment in crisis like never before. The turmoil comes at a time of great uncertainty over the king's successor, the Crown Prince, who can never rival the popularity of his demigod father. And Bangkok's elite is being challenged by a growing middle class and a more politically savvy rural population. But rather than give up power, Bangkok's royalists are digging in. Many think that Thailand is entering a more widespread civil war, as pro-monarchy yellow shirts and pro-government red shirts have taken to the streets in violent demonstrations, both fighting for power in an uncharted political future. We're on our way to meet one of the leaders of the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or PDRC, the royalists who are leading the anti-government demonstrations here in Bangkok. The PDRC claim that the millionaire business tycoon and former Prime Minister Thaksin continues to control the government from exile with bribes and corruption, and that Thailand needs reform before democracy. We caught up with one of the young PDRC royalist leaders, Nat, who was taking a break from the demonstrations and heading to a shopping mall to get a tattoo. So this is what, your third tattoo?
My fourth.
Fourth?
Yeah. Actually, fifth, I had something else here, and then a tattoo across over it.
Would you say your parents approve of you?
Obviously, no parents would have approved for their child, especially, if they're 22 years old, to become, a protest leader. So in a way, we support the movement as a family, but I don't think they ever planned for me to get so involved.
So what does it say?
In Thai it says, "สู้เข้าไปอย่าได้ถอย." So it means keep going, never back out. And that was the motto for the PDRC, for our protest.
Nat is the son of a wealthy businessman and a bit of a celebrity in the PDRC movement. He collects sports cars and even once drove his Porsche into a pro-government red shirt demonstration.
I was just taking a joyride. I had to get past the intersection to get home, but they were blocking the intersection. The motivations for the red shirt mob was that rich city people take advantages of the poor country people. So being in a Porsche 911 doesn't help. People were banging on the cars, and as soon as that you feel like they were trying to pull the handle to open it, that's when I thought, okay, shit, I gotta go. I gotta run for it. Even the car was beaten up, and we end up selling it for a profit. Everybody drives a red Ferrari. So when I got my first Ferrari, it was yellow. And then we came across this one.
It was a great choice.
What if it was in red? Then
You wouldn't
I
buy
don't
it?
know. I don't think I would. I think I would have got it in red.
Well, actually, some things that I love about you.
I would have repainted it in blue.
That
Probably.
is some things that I love about you. Not getting you have a number of Ferraris, but not even one in red color.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of guts for you not to get a red Ferrari.
Victor and I met on a day of a crossfire, right after he was ambushed. The friendship that was forged on a battlefield is stronger than steel.
Not if I have to introduce him, I would say he's my brother. He was born in a very, very rich family. He grew up in the UK and he's young, very, very young, 22 years old.
I'm proud of this one because, you know, my dad bought it, but I fixed it up. Your weekend rides, you need something different. You know, not like a brand new mid-engine Ferraris, but things like this from 1973. It's great. Victor, he is older than I am. He's more mature and more experienced. So sometimes he acts as my mentor. Sometimes he's just a buddy.
It is uncomparable to my dad's vintage Porsche. Different story. This is the real beast. Look at the speed.
You can never go wrong in a Ferrari. Driving around city like Bangkok in your precious little pony, that's about as good as it gets. And that's exactly what we fight for. Small moment like that makes it all worthwhile, make it all worth fighting for.
Bangkok's royalist elites hold influence over the military and the courts, but their most visible arsenal is a mix of civil disobedience from royalist followers and downright thuggery from masked men in black, whose sole job is to intimidate.
We're in the back of a pickup truck with tons of protesters. We've got a large convoy ahead of us, trucks and buses filled with protesters, several behind us. None of these people know where we're going. Only the leaders know exactly where this is going to end up.
Today, the protesters have decided to shut down the Office of Civil Service. Going around with these anti-government protesters, you learn that there is a fine line between civil disobedience and plain old mob rule. The protesters are very paranoid, scanning the buildings for snipers and trying to stop us from filming. In some instances, those unlucky enough to be suspected of being red shirts have been beaten up and killed by PDRC mobs.
So it looks like the protesters may have captured someone. They just brought him into the back of this truck. We really don't know what's going on. The protesters were told that this building was empty, that no one was working here. And once they found out there were, they cut the power. The employees are being forced to leave now because the protesters have shut down the government building. We're going to make our way back to one of the camps to see what they have in store for the next action.
Each attack and counterattack is dragging ties deeper and deeper into conflict, pitting not only civilians, but the police and the military against each other. In January, one of the anti-government group's leaders was shot dead on a broadcast truck during a demonstration. The owner of the truck called Nat to see if he would buy it to use in the upcoming protests.
เลือดที่ถูกยิงมาจากตรงนี้แล้วล่วงมาตรงนี้ล่วงมาตายตรงนี้นี่คือทางเลือด
So the police came ensuring safety, and when they arrived at an intersection, the police left with just kind of went out of the way, and the ambush came in, and with a bunch of assault rifles and start shooting at this car, and so Kun Sutin, the leader, lost his life in the ambush. First shot to the head, dropped dead, went and so the blood was here. He dropped to the ground over there. He was a martyr. He died on duty on a rally. อะไรอย่างเงี้ยเราก็ต้องใช้อะไรลดเครื่องเสียงเราก็ต้องใช้
คุณนัทเนี่ยจะเหมาะที่จะใช้รถคันนี้เพราะอนาคตมันต้องใช้ตลอดใช่ไหมควรจะมีเป็นของตัวเองไว้หน่อย
I think blood stain is not that easy to clean up, but I mean I think they want to keep it this way as symbolic.
Hanging out with Nat and Victor, it is clear that their lives are in constant danger. Victor has a bodyguard by his side at all times.
If I don't have any enemy, I wouldn't need a bodyguard. And he's here to protect me, and he did that several times. He was in prison under sentence of killing people, but I suppose he's innocent. And he got out from prison last year. The background I knew about him was he was a soldier down south of Thailand, protecting this country, protecting his beloved king, and he is an assassin. He's a killer. Well, if you can protect the country, if you can protect me, was I thought.
Many of these PDRC protesters in Bangkok have been bussed in from southern Thailand, where Victor's bodyguard is from. We're about to head to the city center on a broadcast truck, just like the one that was ambushed last week.
That's what I want. I want one of those. I don't have it.
It's not that useful.
The armor?
Because if you wear a vest, they go for the head. If you wear a helmet and a vest and they drop a bomb on you, sometimes they use pistols against us. And this is fine against pistol. But now nobody uses pistol. They use freaking rifle.
Do you think a march like this is dangerous, taking a busy road?
We are very exposed, and as you can see, we are unarmed. Just have my clothes on, and that's it. So, yeah, it's about as dangerous as it gets.
Anyone who on the broadcast call all the targets anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter whether or not you wear armor, but if you or you two are the target now, and congratulations.
Right now I'm on top of the broadcast truck with one of the largest marches for the anti-government protesters. They want to head down one of the busiest boulevards to announce to the people they're going to have a festival on election day.
As I watched Nat and Victor risk their lives like this, I wondered what really motivated them. Both of them clearly benefited from a system that rewards connections to wealth and power. The problem now is that this well-established power network is shifting underneath their feet. Former Prime Minister Thaksin has placed himself as an alternative to the people, a very threatening alternative to Bangkok's old elite.
As Thais, even a doorman or security guard, they need connection. If you know people, things get a lot easier. If you know people, you can park in special spaces. If you know people, the right people, you can get all the discount. If you know people, you can send your children to any schools that you want. And that also comply to my parents as well. When I have a problem, you send me to a better school. When I have another problem, you send me to a better school. And when I have lots of problems, just send me to the top school. So The connections that you've been collecting for the whole life is going to be used every single day when you spend your life. And this is why the country fails. We are going to a place called Makichu, which is, well, a clubbing if you like. And this is where it has a theme, which is a Chinese tea room. So it means something involved with girls. This is the first time during the last 3 months after I got myself involved with the PDRC. So people there would be interesting to see me in this sort of circumstance. This place you have to book yourself to get in for the whole month, just to get a tiny table.
Today is election day, and both sides are sure to be out in full force. The PDRC is planning to block the polling stations across the city to protest what they consider to be an election rigged by former Prime Minister Thaksin. The pro-government supporters are assured a big win if they can cast their votes.
There's nothing real about the democracy we have under the Thaksin regime. There is nothing real about this coming election or even the election before. You know, all the votes are being bought in. Everybody has a price and you just need to find out how much it is. Until they're free to vote for whatever it feels like voting, whatever laws it feels like for the best interest of the countries, and not taking orders and money from one man who's a convicted criminals, then we don't have a real democracy. That's why we call for reform and not elections. We are prepared for violence.
We're at a polling station where there's a lot of anger against the PDRC for sabotaging the election.
Things are getting pretty aggressive outside the polling station here in Bangkok. Voters have just torn down a PDRC stage, and they're very, very pissed that they can't cast their ballot because of the blockade happening all around the city.
The PDRC was successfully able to void February's elections. Now they are trying to impeach Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. In the past 8 years, Bangkok's royalist elite have nullified 2 election wins by Thaksin-backed parties and toppled 2 Thaksin-backed prime ministers with the help of establishment courts. That evening, royalist supporters celebrated with a PVC pipe-wielding rock star. But the failed elections only puts Thailand in a more precarious state. It risks massive turnout of pro-government red shirts, angry that their votes essentially don't mean anything. It seems the only place they can settle their scores now is in the streets. At the most dangerous anti-government protest site on the outskirts of Bangkok, Victor has come out to give a speech and rally support for the monarchy. Here, nightly grenade attacks are a given.
I've been told that this is M79 landed close to the stage, which is a grenade launcher.
สวัสดีครับพี่น้องครับเพราะหนึ่งเรามั่นใจว่าปฏิรูปประเทศไทยนั้นนำมาซึ่งความเจริญรุ่งเรืองในอนาคตของประเทศชาติทุกคนมาจากต่างที่ต่างถิ่นแต่มารวมกันได้อยู่ทุกวันนี้แต่ผมมองว่าทุกๆคนรวมถึงผมด้วยเรามีสิ่งหนึ่งที่เหมือนกันพี่น้องทราบไหมครับคืออะไรเรามีพ่อคนเดียวกันพี่น้องเรามีพ่อหลวงคนเดียวกันและเราจะไม่ยอมให้ไอ้อีที่ไหนมาดึงฟ้าต่ำอีกต่อไปใช่ไหมพี่น้องว่าผมจะสู้เคียงบ่าเคียงไหล่พี่น้องไปเอาประเทศไทยอันเป็นที่รักของเราคืนมาพร้อมๆกันพี่น้องขอบคุณมากครับ
We got M79 or the grenade launcher close to that. At least the bomb was a bit far from where I was standing. We are in civil war. Tens of people has been killed. A couple of leaders has been killed so far by, I don't know. And when you see the procedure that has been taken by police department, when they come to attack us, no one has been arrested from the wretched people. For example, my situation, wretched people came and attacked me with a war weapon. No one has been arrested. If people ask me, are you scared? You're going out there, risk yourself. I said, I'm scared, but I have something bigger to scare, which is seeing my beloved country falling down. The country has been sinking deeper and deeper.
We are proud to represent Thailand. We are proud to be Thais. The moment we lost that, the moment that we can no longer be proud of the place we call home, and that's when you know it's over for us. That's why Bangkok and Thailand, it's worth fighting for, worth living for, and worth dying for. I mean, I have looked down on, in the city skyline in so many places, London, Paris, Rome, Geneva, Tokyo, Hong Kong. But when we look down at Bangkok, it's home. I've never been to the moon, but it's probably the feeling they describe as when you're in space and you're looking down at Earth. It's that feeling when you look down at a place where you belong. It's the country of the king, of our king. As far as I'm concerned, it's one skyline Thaksin will never get to see as far as I'm alive.